else? Like, Mrs. Maples, kindergartners from White Bear Lake, Matoska. I hope I said that right. Matoska International Elementary School. We're glad you guys are joining us. And we are so excited to share with you a farm near Mankato, Minnesota that specializes in pumpkins as well as pigs and chickens and other interesting things that you'll get to see in just a moment. But before we get started, I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Sue Knott. I work with the Minnesota Agriculture in the Classroom organization. And my coworker, Carrie Seidel, is doing our technology. So she's behind the scenes, making sure everything is running smoothly. And then Emily Ponwith is at the farm. She's the one with the camera that's giving us all of the fantastic looks at what we get to see today. So students, teachers, please use the Q&A feature, which some of you have tried out already, to ask questions, because that's the fun part about this. You get to ask questions, and then I pass them on to our host, our farmer today, and then he will answer them, hopefully as many as we can during this 30 minutes. So like I said, please use the Q&A if you're joining us on Zoom. If you are watching on YouTube, then you get to use the comment feature. So let's get started. We are going to travel virtually to Mankato, Minnesota, to the Little Green Wagon Farm, and I'm going to introduce you to Rich Resch. So Rich, could you tell us a little bit about your family and your farm and what we're looking at?
Good morning and welcome. Hi, it's Farmer Rich here with Little Green Wagon, just out at our farm today, and we're kind of set up in our front selling and produce area. And so we'll just have the camera look here real quick. This is kind of where we invite everybody in the community to come to us. And so we are what we call a market garden farm. And so a market garden farm kind of specializes in a lot of different things in produce and companion cropping produce and animals and things like that. And so our biggest thing that we grow is pumpkins. And of course, we're in October now, so it is hardcore pumpkin season. And it's great. We set up this area here with lots of stuff, both pre-picked and a you-picked pumpkin patch, and lots of areas for families to come play and explore and try to connect some of this stuff within people who maybe don't see a whole lot of things with farm. And then both me and my wife, Lucy, we farm together. We try to offer information, interactions. We're always active within the community and just like to talk about it. And so Lucy and I have been farming here now professionally for about the last 5 years. In total, we farm 28 acres on our farm. And of that 28 acres, we grow 11.5 acres of produce and vegetables and pumpkins. And then we have some CRP ground, which is like some grass set aside. We have honeybees on and different wildflowers. And then we also raise pastured pigs. And so we use the pigs within our produce, and all the stuff that gets either damaged or past its prime, we feed to the pigs. We'll show you guys that a little bit later. And then we have some different chickens and geese and ducks and just kind of a whole lot of things.
Well, awesome, Rich. That sounds fantastic. We have people that are excited about these pumpkins. So it looks like you have hundreds, maybe thousands behind there.
Thousands, yes.
Thousands.
So this year, the goal was 26,000.
Yeah. How many pumpkins have you grown? So could you say that again? I was kind of talking over you.
The goal this year was 26,000 pumpkins.
Okay, and it looks like you have green ones and orange ones. And tell us about the different types that you grow. And there is a question if you have a favorite kind.
That's a great question. So different types. This year we grew 57 different varieties of pumpkins. So when the pumpkin season starts, here's just kind of a bag of mixed seed. And you can see all these different colors of seed. And you might be wondering, why is there different colors of seed? And does the seed color mean anything for the pumpkin? So why the different colored seeds is they actually have a treatment on them so the animals and bugs don't eat them. We want them to grow, not to feed the animals. So they get some stuff put on them so that way the animals don't eat them. And then all these different varieties start popping up. So what is my favorite pumpkin? You know, I don't really have favorites, but I like uniqueness. I like warts and bumps and colors and stripes and just anything that can be different that somebody hasn't seen before.
Awesome. I like unique also. So here's a question from Layla. She's curious how fast pumpkins grow. So maybe tell us when you planted those seeds and how long it took to grow and then when you picked them.
Okay, cool. So each year we start planting middle of May. And so we devised a planter where we sit on a bench across the back. One person drives a tractor and two people plant the seeds with their hands, and the planter does everything else, makes a row, covers the seed, and continues on. So we plant that mid-May. It usually takes about 14, 18 days, maybe all the way up to 20. The plant comes up. The plant grows all the way. We start harvesting in the beginning of September. But typically it takes between 90 and 115 days from seed to ground to pumpkin being picked.
Okay, fantastic. So I don't know, maybe that seems like a long time to me. It's kind of fast, actually. But Rich, I know you had picked a couple pumpkins that you wanted to show us.
I
So
am really excited about this.
yeah, let's walk over
So
there and
we
check
do,
this out.
we have just three different kinds here. And so what I kind of wanted you guys to talk about each in your own classes is, what do you think the seeds are going to be like in this? We kind of just have an orange jack-o'-lantern. We have this guy, just a real cool, warty, yellow thing. And then this one's just kind of a small, kind of like a light green, whitish. So we're going to start with this, and I'm going to cut this open. And so each in your classes now, think of, are these going to be big seeds or little seeds? And is there going to be a lot or little? So
Okay, so if you
go.
have guesses, you can use the Q&A to tell us. Do you think lots of seeds, a few seeds? Are they going to be big? Are they going to be small? Like, what are they going to look like? So if you
All
have
right,
any
here
guesses,
we
use the
go.
Q&A.
What do we got in this one? Oh, it's actually interesting in here, kind of a little bit. But these guys, if we can see those seeds, kind of some different ones in there. This one's got some in there. Not a lot, but not a few.
So Mrs. Vogel's class, they guessed that there was going to be big seeds and there was going to be a lot of them. So Rich, would you confirm they're big and there's maybe just a medium amount, or
It's
how would you describe this?
big seed. Yes, this is a big pumpkin seed, and this is a medium amount.
Okay.
So that's what we have in this one. All right. So we're going to move that one on. Now we're going to check the big, or this yellow warty thing. Do we think big seeds, a lot of seeds? What do we think? And now this one at the chop, it is kind of hard.
Oh, that looks pretty good. So feel free to put your guesses in the Q&A,
All
you
right.
guys. Oh, let's see what we, okay. So
Ready?
yeah, Mrs. Vogel's class guessed again. They think little seeds and a medium amount. So let's check
Yeah.
this out.
See, now look at these seeds here. Now this one has more seeds than the last, and I'll put some on here to compare. So I would call this a little seed compared to the big seeds we just picked. You'll see there's not a whole lot of difference in size. They're all in the same family, right? They're all pumpkins and squash. So they're all the same family, but the seeds are a little bit different, just like people around us in our class, right? So we kind of see that difference. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, that's very cool
Now,
to look at. Now we have the last little white one. So
little white
take your
guy.
guesses. Yep, take your guesses. If you want to put them in the Q&A, go for it. But do you think these are going to be small, medium, big? Do you think there's going to be a lot, a little bit, a medium amount inside? And then let's see what Rich
Now,
shows
this
you.
is really interesting. This guy kind of grew full. Now, each plant obviously grows different, right? And so they grow unique to their own. This one is solid all the way through it. Kind of interesting. So this one make a very good jack-o'-lantern. And this is kind of another bigger guy. Um, Emily, if we could zoom in there, I actually cut through a lot of it. There is a lot of seeds in it, but it's all thick. So when I look at this guy, though, what do I think right away? I'm thinking, the pigs are going to like to eat it. There's a lot of good food in there, right? Because pumpkins are squash in the squash and pumpkin family, and this is all edible food. And so one of the ways we try to utilize all this stuff is everything has multiple directions and uses. So one, people like to decorate and carve pumpkins. Some people, when they carve their pumpkins, like to pull the seeds and you need to eat those, right? When some of this stuff is past, or let's say a pumpkin is bad, we like to pull them and feed them to our pigs and chickens. And then some of the stuff that we don't pull when season's over, we like to plow this stuff right back into the dirt and feed the dirt. And who has some ideas of what kind of things live in dirt?
Ooh, that's a
And
great
what do you
question.
think they eat?
Yeah, if you guys have guesses of things that you think live in the dirt that might like to eat these pumpkins, put it in the chat. We had Mrs. Seeger's class also guessed that the white pumpkin would have little seeds in a lot of them, which I would say they're pretty close. And the spring grovers also were thinking similar thing. Okay, so we have guesses, things in the dirt. We have worms and deer. Deer maybe like to eat the,
Worms.
yeah.
Deer, yeah, deer like that stuff too. Worm. Soil is incredibly important to a farmer, right? So my soil health and what lives in the soil is what grows my crops. And so those worms in the soil and those little tiny microorganisms, if they're happy, they keep the soil happy. Happy soil grows better products. So all this stuff is great food for them. So nothing goes to waste here. All this stuff, we'll end up chopping it up in our field and plow it down, which is just the process of flipping the dirt upside down. So we bury all this stuff in there. And then that puts it right into the worm's kitchen and everybody's area. So that way they can go ahead and feed on this stuff. And then as they eat it and digest it, their waste product is dirt. And the dirt is what grows the vegetables. So
Awesome.
kind of
That's
just all goes
fantastic.
together.
Yeah, that's fantastic how it all works together. Now, you said these pumpkins were also good food for your pigs. Let's go up and meet your pigs and show us how these
Okay.
provide food for them. So,
Yes.
yeah, so people joining
So
us, so
So
you know,
friends, I'm actually going to hop in my pickup and I'm going to drive. My pig pasture is just about 100 yards away. And my camera lady, Emily, is going to go ahead and walk behind us. And she might be able to answer a few questions or show a few things as I'm going up there. But I will meet you guys up there and I'll show you a bunch of cool things with the pigs.
awesome. Thanks, Rich. And just so our friends know, joining us, when we practice this, there is a little bit of a dip. So we may lose signal for a moment, but hopefully it'll be okay. So Emily is our camera person I mentioned earlier. So she's showing us what she's seen as she walks up to our where the pigs are living. Emily, do you have any comments or anything you want to share with us as we're walking up there?
Look at this spooky spider they made out of a hay bale. I think that's really cool. What I love about the Little Green Wagon is there is so many different types of pumpkins to admire and pick, but also so much room to play and explore. So I'm going to follow Rich. He's up there with his truck, and we are going to go check out the pigs. I'm going to walk kind of fast so I can catch up to him, but I'll show you a little bit of their farm. And you heard Rich talk about CRP, and I believe, I might be wrong, but I believe that's some of the grass here that they have their pigs out on. We could maybe ask Rich here in a minute.
Emily, I know you have kids in elementary school. Do you guys visit this farm in the fall and pick out pumpkins?
We haven't been here yet this year, but we usually come at least once every fall, and we drive by all summer long on our way to Mankato, and we watch the pumpkins grow. And I know
I
my
just
children like to watch the process.
So Mr. Randall's class asked a question, how much do you have to water the pumpkins? I'm curious if you guys have ever noticed like sprinklers or we call it irrigation sometimes. Have you noticed rich watering pumpkins and when you
I have
water?
not seen watering. I think they just rely on the rain.
I've heard, well, you live around Mankato there. The soil is pretty good at holding water and when it does
Yes,
rain. So that probably
it
works a little.
is. We
All right,
found Rich.
here he is. Okay, Rich, we are up here. We have well, I'll ask you one question. We were just talking about Mr. Randall's class is curious if
Hey
you have to
guys, I don't know
water.
if anybody you can hear me. I'm not currently hearing anybody. Do we have the camera going? Yes, so camera's going. That's fine. So we're up here with the pig. Now we raise pigs a little bit different than a lot of other people, right? They're outside in the grass and working through the dirt. And so we kind of feel with these guys, we can give them more exercise. right? Just like an athlete, if you could give them a healthy diet, so diet diversity, great exercise, and fresh air, you do really well.
All right, so tell us more about these pigs, Rich. How many do
Hold
you
on.
have? Oh,
We were having some
Hello.
there.
You got me here?
we can hear you,
Awesome.
Rich. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, yes. All right.
Okay.
So we're back here with the pigs, right? And we raise our pigs a little bit different. We have our pigs outside. And so what we try to do is think of just like an athlete and building muscles, right? Pigs and pork is muscles. So if we can give them diet diversity, exercise, and fresh air, their bodies are going to grow big and strong. So some of our diet diversity today is going to be pumpkins, right? So we just cut this stuff up. And I got some other things here, and I'm going to toss this to you, the pigs. And I want all you friends here to watch it. They're going to love this. All right, let's see what happens.
Oh, what do you notice, students? It looks like those pigs are excited and excited to eat the pumpkins. Rich, is this how they always are? They always excited to eat the pumpkins?
They are. Now let's look in here too. Here's some stuff that I've got: a small broken watermelon. I have part of a pepper that I ate this morning for a snack, some old tomatoes, stuff like that. All this stuff is good. So what are we going to do? We're going to dump it to the pigs and say, come on, pigs.
So there's a question from Jordan Anderson wondering how many pigs you have, Rich.
That is a great question. So this year we are raising 51 pigs on pasture, 51 pigs, and then we sell to the customers, but I raise the pigs. I bring it to the butcher shop. We kind of add the interactions with people. And so we do everything with that. And then we show a lot of people, just like we're showing you guys today, how do these pigs, how do they grow? And now you can watch them, right? They got stuff squirting out of their mouths all over and things. And I'll bet if we look around here, and I already see one starting to come, the chickens are coming. So we companion crop the chickens with these pigs too. And so as the pigs spill and do different things, the chickens eat. And it's kind of funny that one that's on the camera right now, he's just laying on his belly, just relaxed, eating a little pumpkin. It's a good day.
So, Rich, we have a couple questions. It looks like pigs like produce, like pumpkins and peppers. What else do these pigs eat on your farm?
Another great question. So I actually have a bucket of pig feed here, and I'm just going to walk back up here. So these pigs, they need to have all their vitamins and minerals. So in this is what pig feed is like when you order it. It's just really fine ground corn, soybeans. There's minerals in there, some salt. So this will make sure they have a good balanced diet. And then all the produce in things are kind of the extra snack diversity, like the vegetables we would eat. So they have their food in these funny tall feeders, right? And they have these little flip covers on it. That means their food can be outside all the time and in the rain. And then when the pig wants to eat something, he flips up one of those bottom covers with his nose. And if we pan over, there is one that's eating right now. And they just kind of flip that up, and then they can get their mouths right in there and eat.
Excellent. Okay, Miss Evans' class is wondering if you have any baby pigs on your farm right now.
No baby pigs. So we do have a mom this year, but otherwise we tend to get our pigs in mid-June. They come to our farm when they weigh 30 pounds. Then we raise them up through the year, and they go into the butcher shop in mid-November through early December, and they will weigh 300 to 320 pounds.
Okay, so any guesses? There's a few questions about this. How much do these pigs weigh right now, and how old are they?
Good question. So these pigs were probably born right in the beginning of April. As we look around here you'll see there is some little bit different sizes, right? They kind of grow at different rates. But I'm going to guess, we have pigs in here right now, 220 to 250 pounds. So they're getting close. We still want another 50 pounds on them before they go. And there's a few smaller guys. They were a little younger, but that's okay. They'll come up.
Yeah, so they're about 6 months old and we'll say roughly 220 pounds or so. So
Yes.
Miss Trowbridge's class is wondering if any of these pigs have names. And then Miss Evans' class is also curious if you have a favorite pig.
A favorite pig. Well, we do have one that's named Betty Lou. Betty Lou, where is she right now? I don't see her. She's really, really big. Um, Cameraman, let's come look at this. This is actually kind of interesting. These guys are just still tired. This is in their hut here right now. They're kind of laying in some straw, and they're just kind of more worried about taking a nap right now. That's good too.
They look very relaxed, like they're enjoying the sunny weather. Rich, we have
Yes.
a few questions about your chickens. People are curious about chickens. We haven't seen
Yes.
any, but some folks noticed you had a basket of eggs on the back of your truck. So if you want to
Yes.
tell you mentioned that the chickens like to eat what the pigs spill, but do you want to let us know how many chickens you have and if all of them lay eggs and whatever you can tell us about chickens?
So a basket of eggs, right? We kind of look in here and what do we see right away as we look in this basket? We see eggs, but I see different colors, right? I see greens, I see whites, I see different browns, I see some speckles. And so all that is from the different kinds of chickens. And so each chicken has its own uniqueness where it does really well. And so we like a little bit of everybody so they work together more. So on our farm, we have 150 to 160 chickens. This basket is how many eggs we pick every day with those chickens. So then the chickens are out here moving around in with the pigs. And they eat a lot of the same foods and they eat a lot of the same vegetables and picking at the pumpkins. And all that gives them a really nutrient dense diet. They also get to go over all this grass looking for bugs and grasshoppers and worms and anything else they can find. And so it makes really, really good eggs. And then this is just another companion crop that we have on our farm that gives us eggs year round. It utilizes the produce that's no longer sellable for the customers. They clean up right by the pigs where the pigs spill some of their food. They like to clean all that up so that food doesn't get wasted. It works great.
Awesome. Yeah, Miss Vogel's classes has a curious, or they're curious about the color of the eggs. They are wondering, is it true that the color of the inside of the chicken's ear is the color of eggs that they will lay?
I have never heard that one. I guess these are always kind of fun. But no, I would have to say probably not on that. Um, I would have to say no.
Okay, that's a great answer. Miss Vogel's class, you guys could maybe do a little more research on that. I don't know. So Rich, I'm curious, if you have pumpkins and produce and pigs and chickens, why do you want to have all of those different plants and animals on your farm?
Well, so this farm is more than just fun for us. This is our job. So both Lucy, my wife, and I, this is how we make our living every day. And then this is how we feed our families and feed lots of other families. And so more ways that you can diversify, you can kind of use things that help each other and have lots of different products that you're doing gives you more things you can offer to a family. So you can kind of be unique and stand out and say, oh, well, Rich and Lucy, they have our eggs, they have our bacon, they have peppers and tomatoes, and we can even get pumpkins in the fall. So we've built these connections with these families then, and in conversations and talking to them and sharing about this, where now we are just where they come for that. So that works really well for them because we put food that means more than what's on your dinner plate. It gives us a job and it gets people connected to agriculture, right? If we go back 100 years, there were so many people that had farms. Well, today there isn't as many people that have farms. And though we're really curious about it, people are really interested. It's really kind of fun. And so we're trying to bring that connection back.
Awesome. Okay, I have a few more questions for you, Rich. Claudia, who's joining us on YouTube, wants to know how many eggs are in that basket. If you were going to count them, what's your estimation?
Well, let's just look at this here. If I grab 6 eggs, right? So that's 6 eggs. So if I were to say that's 6, I'd have, 6, 12, right? 18, 24, 30 eggs in a row. by 1, 2, 3, 4. There's probably somewhere around 100 eggs in there or so, you know, maybe up to 120. Let's just say an easy 100 eggs.
Awesome. Well, that was some good mental math right there, Rich, and maybe some of the math experts were following along with you. So about 100 eggs in the basket, and you get that 100 eggs about every day. Is that all year round?
Every day. Yeah. Well, so chickens, um, you know, they get affected by the temperatures outside too. Now, they're an incredibly hardy animal, and nature has them change out their feathers. So they have summer feathers, they have winter feathers, and they go through something that's called a molt. When their bodies are changing and getting ready for these big changes, they slow down on how many eggs they lay. But that's okay. We want them to adjust and get ready for winter or get ready for summer. We have a nice coop that has straw in it and a place that they can go to get out of the wind and the rain. And from there, then the chickens will decide how much do they need to be inside today or how much they need to be outside and what do they need to do to be comfortable.
Awesome. So Eliza has a question about those chicks. She's curious if you hatch your own chicks or if you get the baby chickens from somewhere else.
Both. So each year, you know, there's lots of local stores. Mankato here, we have a Baumgars that has just tons and tons of tanks of chickens. And so we get chicks each year. We usually have some mom chickens called a hen that goes broody. That's when she wants to sit on her eggs. So if there's a rooster around, there's the potential for a chick in all these. Now, if you pull the egg, nothing happens. The mom needs to sit on this egg for quite a while to get it to hatch out. I believe it's 21 days. So she needs to sit on there and keep that warm, and then a chick could hatch. Of course, it's harder to hatch them at home than in an incubator, but we do get some of both each year.
Okay, awesome. Miss Winter's second graders are curious, Rich, does one chicken lay one egg every day, or how many eggs per day do they lay?
Each breed of chicken will lay differently. So just like how they have different colors, they also lay different size. So one type of chicken, like let's say a Wyandotte, they lay a medium brown egg, and she might lay maybe 250 eggs a year. So chickens probably go down as low as maybe 180 to 200 eggs a year and as high as 320 eggs a year, depending on what kind of chicken you choose.
Okay, excellent. Okay, Ellie is curious, Rich, do you guys have any horses on your farm?
No horses here. We have chickens, ducks, geese, guineas, pigs, cats, one dog, and little kids. So,
Awesome. Okay, well, our time is nearly up. I just have time for one more question, Rich, that I want to ask you. And several people have put this in the comment or the Q&A. What is your favorite thing about having the Little Green Farm?
the Little Green Wagon. My favorite
Oh,
thing
sorry.
here at Little Green Wagon really is the pigs. They're really interesting. They have personalities. I can walk right in there and I pet them. And so they really utilize all of our produce that's not sellable. So they're a wonderful companion crop. We're able to produce a meat that is unlike anything you can buy in a grocery store, meaning really good, very dark red like beef. They're really kind. You can come up here and you can scratch them, you know, they're really kind. They're also difficult, right? So a pig likes to root in the dirt and the mud. A pig can't sweat. So a way for them to get cool is they want to dig into the dirt and make spots that hold water, as you can see in here, and then they roll in that mud. And then that mud cools them down. It keeps the bugs off of them. And so each year we do have to come back in here and smooth this out. And we plant stuff for them. We plant peas and radishes and kale, and then they eat it up and do this stuff. And that's just what the pigs do. So they're hard on things. Yes, their nose is like a shovel, but we've learned to work with them. And it's been very fun for me to learn. about it.
Awesome. Well, Rich, I cannot thank you enough for hosting us at the Little Green Wagon Farm. I forgot to say wagon earlier. The Little Green Wagon Farm. You have so much exciting things with the pigs and the chickens and the pumpkins and the produce. Thank you so much for showing us all of it and telling us all about it. And students and teachers, thank you guys for joining us or taking some time on your Friday morning to learn a little bit about agriculture here in Minnesota. I do want to let you guys know that we have a November virtual field trip planned. It's the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. So Tuesday, November 26th at 10 a.m., we are going to meet Hunter, who is a turkey farmer near Cottonwood, Minnesota. So if you enjoyed meeting Rich and going to the Little Green Wagon Farm today, mark your calendars to join us in November for a different kind of farm where we will see turkeys being raised. So thanks,
If I
everybody.
could add, can
Oh,
I
yes,
add one
please.
last quick thing? So today we didn't have a lot of time, and maybe some of your classes have more questions. That's fine. Lucy and I are very chatty people. You can always reach back out to us. You can send us a message on our Facebook, the Little Green Wagon. You can send us a message, through the different Instagram to our website. There's more videos, there's more tutorials and questions. You can always reach out to us and ask. We're excited to share.
Awesome. Thanks, Rich. And if you're near the Mankato area, you could stop by in person and check out all of their pumpkins and see what's going on. So thanks,
Yes.
everybody. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the weather. And